Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Donnie, and for today we're going to answer one of the questions I got in the comment section in one of the videos that we had before. So in that video, we showed you how you can do a sum ifs, but for multiple conditions. But the question was, what if you're going to do a sum if for not? So let's have a very quick recap of what the sum if that we had before. So the sum ifs that we showed you in another video was we want to do a sum ifs, and then we want to say that in this cells, of course, this is the numbers that we're going to add, the first argument of the sum ifs function, and then we're going to have two conditions that we're going to ask. So first is that this column. Let me highlight the column first. And then that column should be a John and should be a Jane, let's say. So that means we're eliminating or we're getting those that are John and Jane in the data. And if we enter this, you will get two answers. The first one is John's and the second one is Jane's. So to verify that, these are John's cells and the total, as you can see, is 67. And these are Jane's cells, which would be, as you can see here, 98, and this is correct. And we just have to do a sum to add those two numbers together so you get the total of John and Jane. However, the question is, what if the sum if for not? We want to add those that are not John and not Jane. Thing is, for that to happen, okay, just to show you, okay, you can simply use sum ifs and then you get the values that we're going to add and then the numbers. Sorry. And then we're just going to type here not. And not in Excel is presented with a less than and greater than symbol like this. So what we're doing here is we're going to add anything that is not John under A2 to A7. So with that, we're going to get 144 because this means we're getting Jane's and Peter's. So just to check, this is Jane's and Peter's numbers. And as you could see in the sum here, the quick sum, we got 144 value, and that is correct. Now, will this same principle of putting the less than and greater than symbol or the not equal equivalent apply when we're going to use arrays? So we're going to put together, okay, so John and Jane. So now this means that we're going to get that of Peter's, which should be 46. And if we enter this, you'll get two answers, 144 and 113, which is not correct. We're looking for those that are not Peter, which should be 46 in this case, but we're getting two answers. And just to explain what these answers are all about, the first one is not John, which means this is Jane and Peter's. And we have here Jane's, which means it is John and Peter's. So it's not really going to eliminate John and Jane at the same time. It's going to eliminate it one by one, and you're just going to get a very wrong answer. And sadly, some ifs really cannot do something like this. If you know a way, then feel free to share it in the comment section. I'll be very happy that you can share your knowledge with us. But these kinds of problem actually call for the sum product function. So let me show you what the sum product can do. So let me erase these two values over here. So sum product, what it does is, let's say that I have numbers like this, okay? And what sum product will do is it will technically multiply the values from the same row, like that, and then get it for the rest. And then finally get the sum, okay, for all those cells. And you see you get 387. So what happened is we multiply the quantity times this random number. And then for all those rows, we added the final answer is 387. Sum product, okay, does that exactly. So sum product of these cells, comma, and the second column. And what sum product will do is it will do what we just did manually. So you get the same answer, 387. And we can utilize this to address the concern of what if we sum those that are not John and not Jane. So for that, let me remove this first. And here's how you use sum product in that sense. So we're going to use sum product, open parentheses, and we're going to sum, first one would be these cells, okay, the numbers. And then we need to give them the other set of numbers that we're going to get. But instead of giving it just random cells or just the column of A, what we're going to do is we're going to ask Excel if the value of that cell in that column, in that row, is the same as what we're looking for. So let's say, just to show you, so we're saying here that A2 to A7 is equal to, let's say, John. Now, if I say that, I will get an error because what happens is that when I ask this in Excel, let me just show you, because I think it helps if you know what's really happening. So what will happen is it will give us an answer of true and false. So true if it is John, as you can see, for the first one and the fifth one, we get true and the rest are false. The thing is, these values are what we are multiplying to these cells. And 12 times true is not really going to work, okay? So let me put that here. So 12 times true is just 0, okay? So, well, for this one, it's working properly, but inside the SUMIFS, it will not really think that way. Well, we have to realize that the value of true is 1 and the value of false is 0. So if we do this, there you go. So everything that is false is 0. And this is what we intend to happen supposedly. Unfortunately, it's not really interpreted that way inside the sum product function. What happens is simply 12 times true. That's why you keep getting 0 over here. So our problem now is technically convert the true into a number, just like 1, and false should be 0. And for that to happen, there's a simple way to convert the answer of true and false into ones and zeros. And that is by putting two negative signs before them. And maybe it would be safe to put them inside close parentheses, okay, and then enter. And you see how the answer is now ones and zeros. So this technique is sort of like something that you just have to know that that's how it works. So by putting two negative signs, you retain the number, you convert the true and false into ones and zeros. And that's exactly what we want to happen inside our sum product function for it to be recognized and not get the all zeros. So we're going to put the two negative signs over here and then close parentheses, okay, just to be safe, okay, and then enter and you get 67. So now we got the sum of those cells that are John. So to double check that, we have 12 here and we have 55 here, and that's obviously 67. But our question from the comment section in that previous video is, what if it is not John and not Jane? So we're getting two values at the same time, or we're eliminating two values in just one formula. And the thing is, there's no or option over here, or doesn't work in other scenarios other than before an if statement. So our next task is, how do you create an or statement in some product, okay, or an and statement in our case here, because we want to eliminate those are not John and not Jane. And for that, okay, we have to use another one here. So we have to start with the multiplication symbol and then say that A2 to A7 is not, okay, not over here, not Jane. I have to do the same over here with John. I have to convert it to not John. So my problem now, or my solution now, says in some product of those that are in B2 to B7, and if it is not John, and if it is not Jane. So both conditions need to be considered. It is not John and not Jane. So therefore, we're going to be left with Peter. So if we hit enter, you get 46. And that's how you do it. Okay, you just have to use some product instead of some ifs in that case. So first, again, the two negative symbols to convert the answers of true and false into numbers, and you don't have to do it for both. You just have to do it at the beginning, and you just have to put here A2 to A7 is not John, and another one multiplied with A2 to A7 is not Jane. Take note that if you remove the parentheses, you will actually get a problem. Just show you. So you will get an error over here, and the reason why you'll get an error is because Excel is a little bit confused with the multiplication of John and A2 to A7. So we have to segregate them. John and A2 to A7 should not multiply to each other. So we're going to put them inside parentheses. And that's the reason why I said to be safe, because you want to prevent that from happening. And there it is. Okay, we now showed you how you can do a sort of like a sum if, but let's give the credit to sum product this time. You will only sum those that are not conditions. And if you have a third condition, you simply have to add another one here and just do the same thing, the same procedure. And there you go, folks. I hope that helped you in your problem that led you to this video. If this video indeed helped you, we would appreciate a like and subscribe in the channel. If you have anything to share to the community, please feel free to do so in the comment section. We appreciate any comments from anyone who has another idea, maybe an easier idea to solve this. We would really appreciate that. And if ever you like this video, we also would appreciate a like and subscribe in the channel. It really helps us be motivated to create more videos for you. But for now, again, my name is Donnie. This is it. I'll see you in the next video.